12 years old and I'm from Berkshire.
Hi, I'm Stephen.
I'm Tiana.
My name is Ben.
And my name is Marty.
My name is Jill.
Cameron.
My name is Aidan and I suffer from Osteogenesis Imperfecta, and that's a thing also known as brittle bone disease.
I have OI.
I have brittle bones.
I'm Maria Pegg. I'm from Sheffield. I'm 10 and I've got brittle bones.
The kind of clues in the name. It's a thing about like your bones and your body. It basically means that they're lower density and they're a bit weaker than most people's.
Many people don't know what this condition is, and they need to. This is a rare condition.
What is osteogenesis imperfecta?
So this is a condition that children are born with, so it's a genetic condition.
OI is a genetic condition.
Meaning it's not something you can catch.
We're just born that way.
My brother has OI, but I don't.
And my two sisters have OI as well, but I don't.
I have a brother and a mum with OI.
I'm the only one in my family to have OI.
The basic abnormality in the condition is a problem in the framework within our bones that makes them more vulnerable to break easily.
This condition limits our lifestyle.
Having OI means my bones can break more easily than yours.
Osteogenesis imperfecta, it's a long word, and perhaps it's easier for sometimes people to remember the term brittle bone disease is an easier thing to remember.
What does someone with OI look like?
Somebody with OI could look like you. They could look like me. You can have people who are so mildly affected, you don't know they've got it.
So like your height, your shape, or your type.
I have a type of OI that means that I'm a bit short.
You could have people who are so severely affected, they're much shorter than you. They're in a wheelchair. They're not even strong enough to be able to push themselves along. Got very short arms, very short legs.
I have a wheelchair, for example.
I'm usually walking, so I'm able to walk.
I also have a walker, which I sometimes go on.
Many individuals with osteogenesis imperfecta will have joints that are a little bit more bendy, so what we call hypermobile joints, and that may also lead to things like flat feet, and that can cause aching of your legs, particularly at the end of the day, or if you've had a particularly busy day.
And get sore arms and sore muscles, like aching arms from writing.
I have blue tints in the white of my eyes and a yellow tint in my teeth. But not everyone is the same.
With brittle bones, there's different types. I have type 4.
I think I have type 3.
I have type 3 OI.
I have type 1 OI.
Can you cure brittle bones?
At the moment, sadly, we can't cure it, and it will never go away.
Doctors give me regular treatments, but there is no cure for OI.
You learn to live with it, and the treatment that you get for it makes you feel better.
When I go to the hospital, I go every month to have my treatment I receive, which makes my bones stronger. It's called permidronate, which helps build up my bone density.
And your bones will always be brittle, which means that if you fall over, your risk of having a broken bone is going to be bigger than mine, for instance.
And I also have specialist doctors, and I do specialist exercises.
If I have an aching bone, I get told by my doctor and physio to go on crutches or the wheelchair.
I've broken a few of my bones.
They can break at any time.
I've probably broken about 25 bones.
I've broken my back twice.
At least over 20 or something like that.
My legs.
Lost count.
My shoulder and my arms. Quite a few times actually.
I have broken over 100 bones and I'm only 13 years of age.
I've had probably more than 100 x-rays.
I've had over 150 x-rays.
I've done lots of cracking my bones and chipping them and dislocations.
If you have a broken thumb, then you can't write if it's on your right hand. And you can't play video games no matter what game it is. Don't break your thumbs.
When
my mum and my brother have both broken, then me and my dad sort of act as a team to help them, and like we both push the wheelchairs. Obviously when you break your arm you get casts on.
My brother recently broke his leg and he was in a cast for 9 weeks.
And like, it's like a big plaster thing and you can't itch it because it's there to protect your arm.
Rodding surgery is where you put metal rods into your bones,
I've had roddings in my legs,
and that's to help them get stronger.
but not everybody else is the same.
People judge people with brittle bones and how they look in bad ways sometimes. Sometimes they will try to protect you.
Because it's important for teachers to have some understanding about the condition and therefore not to be so afraid of it, because that is unfortunately one of the problems, that people get a little bit nervous about having a child who may break a bone easily.
What should a teacher do if you break a bone? What should your friends do?
Sometimes people just put up with it, so it depends what you break. But first thing is to get some help, okay? And then, nobody panic,
If I break one of my bones, please give me a bit of space and don't try to move me.
but perhaps phone home, speak to parents, because often parents know a lot about fractures in brittle bones, and then maybe go to hospital if it's necessary.
If I hurt myself and I say, no guys, it actually hurts, like if I'm at sleepover, they'll be like, oh no, you're fine, then they'll just like leave me out, and I'll be like, no, it really does hurt, and then it'll turn out I've done something to it, and then they'll be like, whoops.
What I'd say to them is, treat you like anybody else, please, but be aware, if I tell you I've got a severe pain and I think I've broken something, then please take it seriously.
People don't really believe that my disability is real sometimes, and don't believe it's as severe as it is.
I wish people were more aware of OI.
And I wish people were more respectful for OI.
When I am using the wheelchair, people will look at me because I don't look like I would have brittle bones. I look like every other person.
Let's take you as an example. It would be helpful if other people in your class knew that you've got brittle bones. So you might sit and just chat to them about what it's like to have brittle bones and what they can do to help you. And sometimes it helps if people from the team at the hospital go to the school with mum and dad and help explain or provide leaflets and things like that.
Make that teacher aware of what symptoms or signs there may be if a child has a broken bone. So obviously pain, perhaps swelling of a limb, reluctance to move a limb.
The thing that that we never want is to be wrapped up in cotton wool or bubble wrap.
Don't treat us like you can't touch us.
You don't want to be kind of kept out of everything.
We just need you to be more considerate, please.
Such as when I'm playing or bump into something.
But like, you can have fun, and if you break something, it's just your luck, really.
It means I can't do some types of activities.
We would particularly recommend avoidance of contact sports.
I'm not allowed to do contact sports.
Like rugby and stuff.
Football in secondary school, which tends to be a bit rougher than in primary school.
You can't do that because fully contact with that could end up with a broken back.
It's dangerous for me to go trampolining, on bouncy castles or horseback riding.
People in my class was doing trampolining and I said, I couldn't do it and I can't do it, and they said, oh, okay.
Hockey again is also potentially a risky contact sport.
With the Osteogenesis Imperfecta, it gives you like a bigger risk of having that type of stuff, like broken bones happen.
Broken a bone just walking.
My mum's always said, we can't hold him back, because if he does do anything, then it just happens.
I can get tired and need a rest quicker than others.
Even with broken legs, you feel like really excluded from everything, because obviously you're either in crutches or a wheelchair or whatever.
Made me feel left out because I just sat on the bench and I couldn't do anything much really.
There are ways in which individuals can potentially participate in those activities. For example, refereeing. So even if they're not actually playing as part of the team, they can perhaps referee and be on the sideline and still take part.
My helper, he like adapts it so me and this other person play football, and I really enjoy football.
What can people with brittle bones do when they grow up?
Almost anything they want to.
I would quite like to get into acting. Like,
when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
I want to be an inventor.
Paralympic footballer.
and maybe some singing.
I've always been quite argumentative. It's a job that you can argue.
It doesn't matter if you're smaller than people, if you're in a wheelchair, if you look different.
We have other individuals who've gone on to college, gone on to work, who are leading very successful lives.
You don't feel comfortable with someone judging you just on the way you look and not on your personality or how you are.
You can help somebody with OI by being more careful around them.
Maybe I've like some posters around like the school, so like a picture of me saying he has OI.
But some people might be a bit embarrassed about it and not want other people to know.
Well, my friends, like, if I want to do something, they can sometimes, like, the boys especially can be quite mean about it. Like, they can, like, take the mick out of me and stuff and say, like, oh, you're not allowed to do that because of your bones and stuff, and they won't let me join in. That makes me quite upset.
But it doesn't affect how I think.
Children with osteogenesis imperfecta have normal intelligence.
I'm just as smart as the rest of you.
They should be able to participate in the majority of activities that other children in their class are doing, and therefore they should be making sure they're included as much as possible and not seen as different.
Don't always think, oh, he's got disabilities, we have to play nice with him.
I've never been a teacher, okay? But I would imagine if I was in their position, I'd be a bit nervous. So I think a good thing that you could do would be to go up and say, hi, I've got brittle bones, but don't worry, okay? Most of the time I'm okay, and if I'm not, I'll tell you.
We always make the best of our lives. It's really hard, but we live through it. Because this is our life. Life was given as a gift. We need to embrace it.
You can read more about OI online.
Or just ask one of us.
And help raise awareness on Wishbone Day by wearing yellow.
Thank you for listening.